Second grade, I am so proud of the readers that you're becoming, even this early in the year. You are second grade readers who read for 20 minutes. You're a second grade reader who works hard on your reading. And you are a second grade reader that can ask who, what, and where questions about your reading. I want you to think about yourself as a reader, and I want you to decide which one of those you connect with most. And then on the next Nearpod slide, I want you to say, I am a second grade reader who, and finish that statement. I am a second grade reader who reads for 20 minutes. You might say, I am a second grade reader who works hard on my reading. Or you might say, I am a second grade reader who can ask who, what, and where questions about my reading. So go to the next Nearpod slide and share with me who you are as a second grade reader. Just like we think about who we are as a person, we can think that way about the characters in our stories. Authors usually use two ways to introduce and describe characters to us. They use their words, or the text in the story, and they use the illustrations, or the pictures in the story. Good readers know that they have to look at both the words and the illustrations to really understand the character. When they do this work, readers ask themselves these things. What do the words say? Analyze the text and think, what do the words say about the character? What do the illustrations show? Good readers look carefully at the illustrations and think, what does the illustration show me about this character? But they don't stop there. They move on and ask themselves a third question. What does this tell me about the kind of character this is? Let's practice doing this work using our shared reading text from today. Remember, in this section we were reading about Rodney. So let's think about what kind of character is Rodney. First we think, what do the words say? We look back through our shared reading text and find what does the word say about Rodney. Here are some things that I found. It says that when Rodney talks, he whispered and he mumbled. It says that he gnaws lunch alone and that he hides inside of his jacket. I'm already getting kind of an idea of what kind of character Rodney is, but I want to also ask myself, what do the illustrations show? So now I'm going to look carefully at the illustrations and I'm going to see what the illustrations show about Rodney. Well, in the first illustration, I noticed that Rodney's eyes are down, his eyebrows are sad, his eyes look droopy. Okay, that's giving me some more information about Rodney. Let's look at the next illustration. In this illustration, Rodney's looking down again. He's not looking at his friends or the other kids in his class. And in the final illustration, I noticed that his jacket is up over his head and his hands are on his face. So that's giving me some information about Rodney. So now that I've thought, what do the words say and what do the illustrations show, it's time for me to ask myself, what does this tell me about the kind of character Rodney is? So remember, he was whispering and mumbling and hiding in his jacket and eating his lunch alone. And the picture showed me that his head was usually down, or his hands were on his face. So that tells me that Rodney is a character who is timid. Timid means to be shy or afraid around other people. So I wrote that on a sticky note. Rodney is a character who is timid. Now it's your turn to try. I want you to think about Camilla. Here's the section of our shared reading text for today that's all about Camilla. I want you to read this section again to yourself. Or you can go back in the Nearpod slide to where we read it together. Then I want you to think, what do the words say? What did the words say about Camilla in this section? Then I want you to think, what do the illustrations show? Look carefully at the illustrations and notice what it shows about Camilla. And then finally I want you to think, what does this tell me about the kind of character Camilla is? Once you've thought about what the words say and the illustrations show, and you've thought about what kind of character Camilla is, I want you to create a Camilla statement. Camilla is a character who, what? On the next Nearpod slide, I want you to share your thoughts. What did the words say? What did the illustrations show? And then tell what your character statement is. Camilla is a character who, blank. Head to the next Dear Pod slide to share your thoughts.